All right, and then math 7, 8. All right, so we want this guy right here, 3.2.5 distributive property, okay? This is a little bit of a review, all right, in a way, because we've already touched on distributive property, okay? But it never goes away, and it's super duper duper important. It's actually, hold on a second, make sure there's anybody else trying to get in that can't get in. Let me check my email real quick. No, all right. Go back here. All righty, let's see if this does this weird shaky thing again. Yep, look at that. I don't know why it does this. That's what it does all the time now. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with that. All right, so we'll do it this way. All right, so remember we've talked about distribution, okay? And the distributive property is nothing more than multiplication, all right? And last year in 6th grade, you guys got this where you had like the boxes, remember? And then you were supposed to take like 1028 and multiply it by 72, remember? And then you broke it up into the tens and then the hundreds, the tens and the ones, right? And then you did the group multiplying. This is the same idea that they're giving you here, okay? What I like to just to talk about is like to say all we're doing is we're really just doing lots of multiply in a row. Okay, so if we're going to do this distribution, we would just go 2 times x, right? We don't know what x is, so that would just make it 2x. And then we go 2 times 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. So my answer would be 2x plus 8. Okay, and you have to be careful of the signs, okay? Because remember, multiplying with positives and negatives, that also never goes away. It's always going to be here, okay? So then they give you this little example here, right? How to distribute. Take the number outside the parentheses and multiply it by everything inside, okay? And that's just what I just did with you. So then they go 2 times x, and then they'll come back and they'll do the 2 times the 3, and they drew little arrows. I draw lots of little arrows like that when I do this. So that, you don't have to do that, but I think it helps when you're first doing this. And this is one of those places you can really make a mistake. And this is like where Honeycutt, like if I'm doing a math problem and the answer's not coming out right and I know something's goofy, this is usually where I make my mistake, is in the distribution, because I get going fast and I forget to like distribute to the last number in the series. It's almost always 98% of the time, that's where I goofed up at. So it's really easy to lose track. I'm an example of that, okay? So you just need to multiply through, okay? All righty. All right, so, oh, and Gibson's here. Gibson, did you have breakfast, huh? Are you, yes, you're very happy. Hello. Hello. Okay, all right. Oh, dude, you're getting caught up. All right.
You can see the correct answer for the first one.
I know. All right, so, because we're gonna do this one together, okay? All right. Okay, Gibson, all right, dude, all right. I know, okay. All right, okay, stop. Shh, relax. Sorry, happy dog. Okay, here we go. So in this case, right, we would multiply through. We'd go 2 times x, that's the 2x, right? And then 2 times 5, and that's the 10. Okay, so that's all we have to do, is just to do that, okay? Actually, you know what I'm going to do, guys? I think I'm going to switch over. Gibson, I love you, sweetie, but you're kind of being a pain in the butt right now. Oh, hold on one second, guys. I need a cord. Which I don't know where it went to. Maybe downstairs also. Why would I have it downstairs too? Oh, well, okay, guys. So we're gonna have to go this way and look at the jiggly screen for a second. Okay, so you guys are gonna continue with this, okay? So you're gonna fill in the blanks for each one of these, okay? All right, so you're gonna do exactly what I just said. You're gonna use the distributive property, and each one of these, you're going to multiply this outside number by each of these. And you can see 3x times 2, or 3 times 2x, well, that's 6x, right? Okay. And then 3 times 1, what's that answer?
3.
3. So we plug in 3. And we're done with that one. Okay. All right. So you guys continue with those. All right. And then these ones down here, right? They show you right here how to do it. Now you guys are actually going to do it. Okay. So then you're going to distribute the 3 to each term. So you're going to do 3 times x here and then 3 times 4 here. Okay. So I want you guys to do all of these. Okay. Now be careful here on number 7. On number 7, right, the 3 is not part of the distribution. Okay. The 3 gets added in after you do the distribution. Okay. So remember, we have order of operations, right? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide as they happen from left to right, then add and subtract as they happen from left to right. So in this case, if you look inside the parentheses, I have 2x plus 5, don't I? Well, I can't add those together because they're not alike. Okay, so now we go to exponents. Well, I don't have any exponents. So then we go to multiply, and I've got to multiply right here. So 2 times 2x, then 2 times 5. Okay, and then you're going to combine your like terms afterwards. Okay, so just be careful with that. All right. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you just to do 1 through 8 right now. Okay, just do
It was
1.
number 1, 3.
Pardon?
Was number 1, 3?
The answer to number 1 was 10, I believe.
Oh, okay. Wait, was the second one 3? I remember one was on
The
the
second one was 3. The second one was 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So they're not. They're only asking for. So guys, when you do this, like somebody here put the whole thing in 2x plus 10. They're only asking for this last number. Okay. You'll do the whole one and then in the next round. So remember how picky this system is. It can get really weird. So just be careful and put that number in. Okay. All right. I'm going to go find my cord real quick. I don't know what I did with it. All right. So you guys work on this. I'll be right back. All right. Ha! Success! I found it. This is what I get for going around the house and doing my work in different places when it's not a school day and it's a grading day. And I leave a little trail of things.
Mr. Honeycutt, I'm a little confused. Like, how do I do this?
Okay, hold on. Let me get. Okay, I'm going to change my share here because it does that weird jiggly thing on my computer. All right. Whew, there we go. All right, yay. All right. So what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to multiply. Distribution is just a fancy name for multiply. So in this case, we would do 2 times x, that's the 2x. And they would do 2 times 5, that's that one. So my answer here for this guy is 10.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Same thing here. 3 times 2x, well, that's 6x. And then 3 times 1 is 3. That's the answer we put in there. Okay. Now, this one we want to be careful with, right? What is the sign on that -2? Oh, I just said it. Poop. Well, I just told you it's -2. So that negative goes with the multiply, okay? So it's -2 times x, and then -2 times 3, right? And we all remember a negative times a positive is always a negative, okay? So this x right here is positive. So that's going to give me -2x. Okay. Same thing here. I have a -3. Okay. So negatives times positives are negatives, but negatives times negatives are always positive, right? So notice here when they did the multiply, -3 times -5 is +15. But when we do this multiply, -3 times 2x, what's that going to give me as an answer? What's -3 times 2x equal? Somebody tell me.
Would it be positive 6x?
Okay, so positives happen when you multiply two negatives together. Is that x negative right now, or is it just the 3 that's negative?
Just the 3 that's negative, so it'd be positive 6x.
Negatives times positives are always negatives. Remember your little triangle?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay, I can't draw it on here. Oh, I can draw it in here. Hold on. I can do it in this one real quick. All right. So if we were to draw our little triangle, right? We do plus and then minus, minus, right? All right. So if I have a positive, right, and a negative being multiplied, I cover these two up and it tells me what my sign is. Okay. So when I cover these two up, let me shrink this. Oops. All right. When I cover these two up, well, what's left? Negative. Okay. And if I'm multiplying negative times negative, I cover these two up and I'm left with positive. So if you're having trouble, remember, write down your little triangle, okay? Because this will help you every time. Oh, well, what am I doing? Oh, I'm doing a positive and a negative. So I'm going to cover those two signs. Oh, my answer is going to be negative. And then what's nice about this is this also works for division. It's the same rules for division. So you can use it for both. All right. So let's go back to this one. So -3 times 2x is going to be what answer?
-6x.
There you go. -6x. Okay. All right. Now, in this case, what we're doing, right, is we have to do it to everything in here now, right? We just don't have one anymore. So you've got to do the distribution. And again, like I said, I like to do the arrows. So what does 3 times x equal? Do the first part. 3 times x. 3x. And then what is 3 times 4?
12.
Boom. That's it. How nice is that? Okay. So the distribution really, if you think about it, it's not too terrible. Okay. It's just you have to be careful. Okay. 4 times 2x minus 1. You know, we got to be careful because that minus sign makes this one -1. So we need to be careful of our signs at this point. Okay. All right. So let's think about it. I'm going to do my distribution now. So we're going to do 4 times 2x first. So what's 4 times 2x equal?
Let's say 8x.
You would be right if you said that. Okay, so now we're done with that distribution, right? We finished that up. Now we're going to do 4 times -1. What does 4 times -1 equal?
-4.
Boom. Done and dusted. All right, now this is the one where we have to do some combining of like terms, okay? All right, so again, right, remember we talked about order of operations. Again, that never, ever, 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 ever goes away, ever. I still to this day with my kids, like in pre-calculus, like they'll forget their order of operations. I'm like, dudes, you've been doing this forever. This doesn't change. It never goes away, okay? So remember, it's parentheses, grouping symbols, right? Then exponents, okay, or square roots, then multiply and divide as they happen from left to right. So if you had a divide first, you would do that. If you had a multiply first, you do that. And then add and subtract are the last ones that also happen from left to right as they happen first, okay? So I like the please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, okay? So if we look at parentheses, we look right in here first, right? We can't add these together. 2x and 5 are not alike, so we can't add them up, okay? That just isn't gonna happen, okay? So then we look at exponents. Okay, well, I don't have any exponents hanging out up here, so that's not gonna happen. So then I do multiply and divide. Well, ooh, look, I have a multiplier right away because numbers next to parentheses mean multiply, okay? So that means we're gonna have to do some distribution. All right, so what's 2 times 2x equal?
4x.
4x. Boom, that one's done. Now we're going to go to the next one. 2 times 5, what does that equal?
10.
There we go. Now this guy just comes down, right? He's not part of the multiply. He's not in the parentheses. He's not next to the parentheses. He's just hanging out the end of the problem, waiting for all the action to happen, which it just did. Now we can combine like terms, okay? So here's my 4x. Do I have any other thing in here that has an x attached to it?
No.
No. So that means the 4x just stays right there. Are these two things alike?
Yeah.
Numbers, but
Yeah, do they have x's attached to them? Or are they just numbers?
no.
They're just numbers.
So can we add them together?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. So what does 10 plus 3 equal?
13.
All right, and that's our final answer right there. 4x plus 13. Put that in over here. 4x plus 13. Okay. All right. Same process with this one, except this time, notice we have a -2 in the parentheses. Okay.
Oh no.
So somebody tell me what I need to do. Somebody tell Honeycutt what I need to do.
Solve the problem.
But yeah, in steps though, not just a Gestalt answer.
First you do the thing, and then you do the thing.
What are those things called?
You have to times 3 times x.
Okay. So 3 times x. What is that? 3 what?
3x.
3x. What do I do next?
And then you have to times 3 times 2.
Okay, so what's my answer?
Wait, hold up. I'm not good at math.
It's
-6.
Okay, right. -6. This is where you got to be careful because remember, that minus sign right there makes this 2 a negative. All right. And then positive times a negative is always going to be a negative. So -6. Am I going to multiply this 3 by the 5? Is that my next step?
No, you
Oh.
add the 5 to
You just
the
add the 5 at the
-6,
end.
which would be -1.
There we go. I have 6 negatives and 5 positives. So I'm going to have 1 negative left over. So 3x minus 1 is my answer. Okay, put that in here. 3x minus 1. Boom. All right, now here is where we use distribution in the middle of an equation. And we had some of these way back when we were doing equations right before winter break, okay? So let's just write this down and do this because this is a good review for our equations, all right? Because equations and solving equations, that also does not go away. That is here to stay forever. And of course, you know, they just get harder as you go up in math, right? But the more you practice, the easier it becomes. All right. So what I like to do first, right, remember, is our list of things to do. Remember, we had that little list of things to do, right? One was to see if you needed to clean up your equation. And I see we got a lot of cleaning up in here. All right. So let's start on this side. I have 14 minus 2x. Is there anything I can combine here?
No.
No. 14 and negative 2x are not the same thing. All right. Now, over here, right, we got a problem first off. We cannot add this 3x to this negative 2. A lot of students will automatically add 3x to 2. Okay, one, you can't do that because of order of operations. That's the first thing, right? Order of operations says parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, then add. We also, even if we could, we can't because this is a plain 2. There's no x with it. Okay. All right. So what we do is we go to the parentheses, right? We can't combine anything in here. There's a 5x and a 3. No exponents, but we do have a multiply. All right. Now that means we're going to multiply this all the way through. Now, what does that minus sign do to this 2?
Makes it a negative.
Right, makes it a negative. Okay, so that means we're going to multiply each of these guys in here by negative 2. All right, so let's do that. What is negative 2 times 5x equal?
10.
Negative 10.
Negative 10x, right? Don't forget the x. Okay, now we're done with that one. Now we're going to do the next one. Negative 2 times positive 3. What does that equal?
Negative 6.
Negative 6. Perfect. All right. And then we just bring down the rest of our problem. Remember, these guys are just hanging out waiting for the action to get over so they can play. Now it looks like we've got some things we can combine, right? We know we can't combine anything over here, but how about over here? Can I combine something over here?
The 3x and the 10x.
Okay, so what is 3x and negative 10x equal?
30x.
That's multiply.
Oh no, that's multiply. Crap. 13x.
Okay, careful, careful. I have positives here and negatives here. Okay, so this is like I'm starting on the number line over here at negative 10.
So it'd
and
be
I go
negative
3 spaces
13x.
this way. Hold on. This is positive, right? This is negative. This is me at negative 10. This tells me I need to go 3 spaces in the positive direction, meaning this way. Where am I going to end up if I go 3 spaces in the positive direction?
Negative 7.
There we go, negative 7. So this added together is negative 7x. Okay. Then I'm going to bring down the rest of my problem, minus 6. That looks like a B, but it's really a 6. Okay. All right, now we're done cleaning everything up. Now we can actually go in here and solve our problem. So let's put in our helper grid. All right, and remember my rule is bring your smaller x to your bigger x. So which is the smaller? Negative 7x or negative 2x? Which is smaller, negative 7 or negative 2?
Negative 7.
Negative 7, right? Remember, if it's farther away from 0 going this way, it's smaller, okay? So that's that rule. So that means we want to take this -7 and bring it over here. I know it looks weird, right? Because it's like, well, it's 7. 7's bigger than 2. No, 7 is bigger than 2 on this side of the number line. But over here on this side of the number line, it's actually smaller. All right. It's like, which is higher up? The 2nd floor of the basement or the 7th floor of the basement? Have you guys been in that parking structure downtown that's all underground? You guys haven't?
I have.
Right. I mean, so it goes straight down like 9 or 12 floors or something. It's really deep. Okay. I remember when they built it too. It was pretty impressive, right? So it's the same idea. Like the first parking level is higher up than the last parking level. It's kind of that idea. Like the further down you go, it's smaller. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to bring this guy over here. So I want to make a 0 pair. All right. So because I want to cancel it. So I'm going to add 7x to both sides. This guy goes away. All right. What is 7x and -2x equal?
Nine X.
Careful. Remember, I've got negatives and positives here. What is 7x and -2x equal?
Would it be -14x?
You know, you're multiplying. We're not
Oh, multiple.
okay, we're adding -2x and 7.
5x.
5X.
5x. There we go. Yes, 5x. Okay. Right. It's positive. I'm going to bring down my other numbers. Okay, now this negative goes with that 6. It comes down. Okay, now I want to get my x by itself. So I'm going to make another 0 pair. And I'm going to get rid of this 14. All right. Now, got to be careful here, right? I've got negatives and then even more negatives. Okay. This was,
2 to 5.
this kind of was like a subtraction, right? 7x and -2x. That's kind of like 7 minus 2x, right?
Exactly.
This is a little different. What is -6x and 14? Or sorry, x, listen to me. What is -6 and -14 when we add them together?
-20.
-20, perfect, -20, right? This is negatives and more negatives. And then I bring down my 5x. Okay, now, how do I undo this? I want to get the x by itself. What am I going to do? Who remembers? How do I get this number off?
Divide both of them.
Yes, remember, this is a multiply. This is 5x times 5 times something, and that x is equal to this. And we undo multiply by divide. So I'm going to divide both sides by 5. All right, now we have to ask ourselves, well, how many sets of 5 are a -20? How many sets of 5 are -20?
4.
What kind of 4?
-4.
-4. Remember, I have a negative divided by a positive, so that's a negative, -4. Remember, just here's a little triangle. Right? I'm doing a negative and a positive. I cover those two up, and I'm left with a negative. So my answer is -4. X equals -4. Boom. Okay, that was kind of a little blast from the past there, wasn't it? Doing all of our fun distribution and solving. All right, let's try this one. I'm going to rewrite it up here. All right, so let's look at this. Oops. Oh, honey God. Let's look at this. Is there anything on either side of this that I can combine? Is there anything that I can combine first? Can I add what's inside this parentheses? 3x and -4.
Yes.
Okay. So does this 4 have an x?
No.
So that means they're not alike. So can I add them then?
Yeah.
They're not alike.
Oh, they're not like, so no.
So no, right. How about this side? Can I add x and 1?
No, you cannot.
I cannot. These are not alike. Okay. So already in the parentheses, remember we have to do parentheses first. We can't add anything in the parentheses. Okay. So the next one down in our list is exponents. We don't have any exponents, those little numbers hanging out up top. So the next thing is multiply and divide. And we see we have a multiply here and we have a multiply here, don't we? Okay. So we have to do that first. You cannot combine this 14 and this -2 or this -8 and that 3. Can't do it. You've got to do the multiply first. Okay. So let's start over here. Okay. So we're going to multiply distribution, right? Fancy word for multiply. All right. So let's do it. What's 3 times x?
X.
3x. Okay. We're done with that one. What's 3 times +1?
3.
3. Okay. And now we're going to bring down our 8. Okay. That's kind of a bad minus sign. All right. Now we're going to go to this side. So let's do our multiply. So now don't forget this minus sign makes this negative. So now we're going to multiply. Okay, so I'm going to put my 14 there. All right, what is -2 times 3x?
Negative
-5x?
6x.
Okay, don't add. This is multiply, right? What is -2 times 3x?
Negative 6x.
-6x. Okay, so that one's done. Now we're going to do the next one. So we're going to multiply -2 times -4. Okay, so let's not forget our little triangle. Negative times a negative. So what's my answer going to be? -2 times -4.
Eight.
Yep, +8. All righty. Now we've gotten rid of our parentheses. We've done our multiply. Now we can add like terms. Okay, so let's start on this side. Okay, we're going to start over here. What are the things I can add up over here? What are the things I can add up over here?
3 and the -8.
3 and the -8, perfect. We can't add it to this guy because this guy has an x and these guys don't have x's. So only these guys can get added. So what is 3 and -8? What does that equal?
-5.
Perfect, -5. All right, let's hop on over to the other side. Okay, what can we add together here?
14 and 8.
14 and 8. What's 14 plus 8?
22.
22. And then we're going to bring down our -6x. All right, now we're all done. Now we've cleaned everything up. Now we can go ahead and solve. So we're going to bring our smaller x to our bigger x. Okay. -6 is smaller than +3. So I'm going to bring this guy over here by making a 0 pair. This guy cancels. Oops, there's an x there. What is 3x and 6x equal? What does 3x plus 6x equal?
9x.
9x. Okay, minus 5 equals 22. All right, now I'm going to want to get this guy over here because I'm going to get this by itself. So this is minus 5 now, so it means I'm going to add 5 to both sides. Cancels. 9x equals, what's 22 plus 5?
27.
27. And last step is we know we have 9 times something, so we're going to undo by divide. So what is 27 divided by 9?
3.
3. And that's our answer. X equals 3. Okay. All right. Your homework, because it is 9:38, is to do these last 2 problems. Okay. And I'm probably going to give you a worksheet on this for next class. Okay, because this is super duper duper important practice.
Mr. Honeycutt,
Yeah.
could you show me number 9 again? I forgot to put a part on my show your work.
All right. Questions for me?
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you know when our report cards go up? For our
You
final...
can look at your grades on, I know you can look at your report card like online right now, but I don't know when they get mailed out.
That's funny because when I looked like this morning, there was like nothing there. It was just from last semester, or like last quarter. Or,
You've
like-
got to look for the right grading period, I think.
Oh, okay. that
If
makes
you go
sense.
into gradebook, you can see your grades.
Yeah, but some of them aren't entered yet, which doesn't.
So
Makes
for,
sense.
for me, guys, sometimes like I change grades too. So I'm not sure what it looks weirder than, I don't know. But anyway, you guys are good to go. All right, guys, it is 9:39. You guys need to go to your next class and I need to change my Canvas for my next class so everybody can get in.
Bye.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.